Yo, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy Dan, aka aDrive, bringing you guys week 3 of the NPA. The New York Metapods are taking on the New Jersey Nidokings, and if you guys are super hyped, I need you guys to show your love on that like button down below for you New York Metapods. I would greatly appreciate the support, so definitely do so. New York Metapods shirts are available. Today is the last day. There's probably only a few hours left after this video goes up, so make sure you grab them in the description, because you're not going to be able to get them if you don't get them in the next like couple hours. So make sure you grab them. Definitely check out my opponent. His name is Blue. His channel link is in the description, of course. And last but not least, I have a really interesting question of the day too. Pokemon Sun and Moon is on its way, and it could potentially change competitive battling for a lot of different reasons through a lot of different methods. But one of the things I was thinking about is how would Pokemon be affected if there was more than 4 move slots, maybe 6, maybe 8, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on that, and give me the Pokemon that you think would benefit them the most if you did move it from 4 move slots to 6. Like, I think there's a lot of Pokemon that have that 4 move slot syndrome, and I think if you took a few of them and added a couple moves on, they could be really, really powerful. So take a moment, let me know in the comments section below as you watch this video, some Pokemon you're thinking what 6 moves you would put on them. And I think that's pretty much everything. You can check out the pregame press conference as well in the description or on the annotation on the screen. You can see what I'm predicting Blue to bring, and you see Mr. Metapod dancing in the corner, rooting us on. So let me go connect with Blue here, and I'm gonna get this match started off. We'll be ready to rock and roll, so let's do this. Alright guys, so me and Blue have connected for this matchup here, and we are ready to rock and roll. I'm going to pick this team, and hopefully I grab the right team here. But we're going to connect here right now, and hopefully we'll be able to pick out the W. If you saw the pregame, you'll know that this team is actually built for me by my assistant coach, Mystic Moto. So big shout out to my man Corey for building this team for me. Him and I are trying to work together, working on a little bit of counter team stuff, and I thought it'd be kind of cool if he built the team this week, and then I kind of gave him my input as opposed to me building the team, and him giving, or me giving, the other way, him giving me the input, etc. So here's his team. So he brings a couple things that I thought he was going to bring, a couple things I didn't expect. No Mega Aggron, which is mind-blowing. Does bring the Delphox, brings the Lapras instead, which is totally fine with me. So let me update the layout for Mr. Lapras. Actually, he has the Crobat, never mind. So he doesn't bring the Nidoking, but he brings the Lapras. That's interesting. So let's put Lapras on the screen here. And he does not bring the Mega Aggron, but brings the Kyurem instead. So very surprised to not see the Mega Aggron. Obviously, I'm very familiar with that Pokemon, so it's all good, man. But Kyurem, and then he doesn't bring Nidoking. Instead, he brings Lapras. So that's totally fine. Potential leads on his end. He actually does not have a Stealth Rocker. So my need to get Sableye in at the beginning is very, very low. Potential leads could bring that Hydreigon lead, could bring that Crobat lead, could be the Kyurem lead with Scarf. I really like getting my rocks up here, so I'm actually going to lead with Mr. Rolex. I think that is our best play. It'll allow me to get my rocks up right off the bat. I do have Sturdy, so I know I can live any particular move, and getting those rocks up is going to be huge, because it's going to do 25% to 3 Pokemon. And his only potential way to get rid of those rocks is to defog with Crobat, and if I force him to defog, that's going to be 1 turn that I gain extra momentum. So Rolex is very important. I don't want to waste it, but I think if I can get my rocks up early, that would be incredibly beneficial. So he's going to go with I'm a Man, which is actually the Sylveon. So this is a very favorable matchup for me, as I know I could take any hit from this Sylveon, and I'm actually in pretty good shape here. I do just want to see if he has choice specs, how much his HP Fire is going to do. Looks like it does 2-hit KO here, but Heavy Slam Okos, so I have no reason to not just click Stealth Rocks, and that is what I'm going to do here, expecting the Sylveon to switch out. If he does want to stay in again, I am actually fully specially defensive with the Impish nature, which is kind of interesting, but it is specifically designed to allow me to take on this Sylveon and a couple other threats, because I know I could beat the Crobat, I know I could beat the Sylveon, etc. So unless he's carrying HP Fire, I should be in really good shape. So he's just going to switch out right away. So I don't find anything about his Sylveon other than he probably can't touch me. So here comes Llama, which is the Lapras. And I actually forgot that Lapras takes 25% from rocks as well. So that's just another Pokemon where I'm really benefiting here from those Stealth Rocks. Now, I'm a little bit worried here that this thing is going to go for a Scald and get a burn on something. And I don't want to be burned on anything, but the problem is as you can probably tell without things like a Moongus and Alomomola, I don't really have the best Scald switch-ins, so I really do like Cresselia coming in here, and if he wants to go for the Scald, I know I could take it. I just have to kind of hope he doesn't get the burn on me, and I can start setting up Calm Minds. Even though it's early, I really see no reason not to start doing that. He's going to be trying to bank on that Scald burn, but if I get a couple Calm Minds up on this little Lapras here, I should be in pretty good shape. I could stay in and Heavy Slam and do a lot of damage to this thing, but I really don't want to take any chances chances here. So I'm going to make the switch here. We are going to go straight into Cresselia. I'm expecting that that Scald to come through here, and I'm just going to... Oh, he's going to actually go for the Surf, so maybe Lapras doesn't even get Scald. I honestly don't know, but you can see how little damage that does. This gives me a free chance here to simply click Calm Mind, and there's really no reason for me not to, in all honesty. If he has some way to stop me from setting up, I'm happy to... Oh, he's gonna go for the Protect. So I see 2 moves here, and now I get a free Calm Mind up, and this is looking incredibly good for Mr. or Mrs. Cresselia here. Hashtag free Cress, and I'm just gonna get some health back. Now that I know he can't status me, he's probably got Ice Beam on this thing as well. We're gonna get our health back here. I can just freely start clicking Calm Mind. I'm going +2 here because at +2, I'm gonna be able to take on this Hydreigon in great fashion. Let me just take a look here. What happens when Hydreigon comes in, assuming he's a Life Orb offensive Hydreigon, which is most likely what he is. Now that I am +1, I can actually take a Dark Pulse pretty well. And I'm gonna go for a second Calm Mind here. He's actually gonna stay in and let me Calm Mind. My only concern here is that he has Toxic. I did not carry the Substitute this week. I decided to go with Moonlight. I almost made the switch last minute, and we'll see what he has here. He's gonna go for the Freeze Dry. So I see the Freeze Dry, and now we are just in a great situation to set up all over this thing. We are +2 right now, and I'm feeling pretty good because this is forcing him to need a critical hit. If I go +3 here, I don't know if he can break this down. I'm gonna go +3. There's really no reason for me not to. And he is gonna finally switch out here. And Lapras is gone. In comes Amaman. So here comes the Sylveon. But again, I'm not that concerned about the Sylveon because I'm +3. What is he gonna do to me? You know, he's gonna take Stealth Rock. I'm +3 right now. Like, I'm sitting here at a +3 Cresselia. Like, I'm not worried about anything. There's not a single thing in the world I'm worried about because I can just click Psyshock right now, and it is just going to destroy this Sylveon's face. Even if he's physically defensive Sylveon, I really don't think he can do much to me. So I'm going to fire off a Psyshock. I really don't lose anything by going for Psyshock here, just to kind of see what kind of set he is. I obviously outspeed, so I know he's not Scarf now. We are going to get this Psyshock off, and it is going to do a tremendous amount. He does have the Shadow Ball. All I'm hoping here is he doesn't get the Spidef drop. That's all I'm really hoping for. He is not going to get it. So we saw a Shadow Ball on the Sylveon. And what I'm going to do here is, based on that damage, I know a Moonblast will most certainly knock this thing out, unless he's fully specially defensive, which wouldn't make sense. So I'm going to go for that Moonblast here. If he wants to switch to Hydreigon, it is not going to like that. And Cresselia is just going to get rid of this Sylveon here, I think, without any issues whatsoever. And that is what I'm talking about. That crit is not going to matter. So Cresselia kills Sylveon with Moonblast. So we get the Sylveon out of the way right off the bat, which is huge, huge, huge for us. Now we're in a great situation here. Without that Aggron, I think we might be able to sweep, guys. He's gonna need a big hit from that Hydreigon to beat me now. We might be able to sweep with Crest right now. Here comes lots of A's, which is going to be that Hydreigon. He could potentially go for a U-turn here. My play is still to go for the Moonblast. I don't think there's really anything else I need to do. I'm going to go for the Moonblast. If he wants to go Dark Pulse, that's fine. As long as he doesn't crit us, we should be in good shape. There's a 6.25% chance. He's got the Head Smash on this thing. That is going to do a tremendous amount. He does crit us, which is quite unfortunate for us, but our Moonblast will connect here, and I'm sure we have no issues knocking this thing out. Hydreigon is going down. So Cresselia is going to knock out Hydreigon. Kills Hydreigon with Moonblast, and that crit may be a big deal because it could potentially stop our Cresselia sweep. We might be able to live a hit from something big coming in here, but I don't know if we're going to take a hit from that Kyurem. I might go for the Moonlight on the next turn, though, depending on what he brings in here. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. That Kyurem is the thing that could potentially knock us out at this point. That crit, I think, could make a difference. But let's see. Here comes the Crobat here. So because it's a Crobat, I think I could take any hit from a Crobat. I really do. And I think I could just Moonlight up. Even a Brave Bird, if he's offensive, he's not going to be able to touch us. I'm going for the Moonlight here. I kind of want to see what kind of Crobat this thing is. He's going to go for the Brave Bird. I think, unless he's like Bandit, I should be able to live this hit. He would need a monster. I'm fully physically defensive. We are going to live on 22, and I'm feeling 22 like Taylor Swift, baby. And he's Life Orb. Wow, so we see Life Orb Crobat. Moonlight's going to come through, which is absolutely phenomenal for me. I really have nothing to stress about. I'm going to get my leftovers. I'm going to get my Moonlight, and now I get to just Moonlight one more time here, and we should be in a pretty decent spot. After another Moonlight, he's not going to really be able to do too much to us. Plus, he's going to be taking Brave Bird recoil and Life Orb recoil, and put us in a pretty decent spot here. as we did already knock out 2 of his biggest threats. He is going to go for the default here and get rid of the Stealth Rocks, which is a very interesting play. Lily is excited about the plays right now. Lily knows that Cress has a chance to 6-0 this man right now, ladies and gentlemen. It is possible. Lily is so hyped right now. Lily is so hyped. She's communicating with the neighborhood dogs. Lily, please stop barking, though. All right, I'm going to go for the Psyshock now. There's really no reason not to do that. This Psyshock should be able to connect, knock this thing out. If he wants to switch, that's fine. Here comes the U-turn. Something is going to take a Psyshock. I don't care what it is, because that U-turn is barely going to do anything to our Cresselia. Even if it's the Delphox, Delphox is not going to want to take multiple Psyshocks after a +3 Cresselia. Like, there's really no reason for Delphox to want to do that. Now, I'm a little bit worried that he's going to have Trick, but here comes aDrive, please, which is the Delphox, so I'm curious to see how much this does. This is going to really determine whether or not Cress is going to be able to pull out this sweep here. That did a decent amount of damage. That actually did a decent amount. So my play here 100% is to simply fire off another Psyshock, and we're just going to keep clicking Psyshock. Looks like it's a 3-hit KO, so that's fine with me. No sense in trying to set up any further. I don't want to get tricked. Here comes the trick. So we are going to get tricked, most likely a Choice Scarf or a Choice Specs, and it is going to be Safety Goggles. So I think this was designed, that's very interesting. The Safety Goggles was there to potentially save this thing from, ooh, we're gonna get a crit there with that one. That Psyshock's gonna come through. I don't think that crit's gonna make a difference, but Cresselia kills Delphox with Psyshock. So that's gonna go down. The Safety Goggles was obviously for Amoonguss's Spore. I decided not to bring Amoonguss this week. In fact, I went with, the same team as last week, actually, and I really like the depth of this team that we have. I think we have a lot of potential to bring different sets every week, to bring different Pokemon every week, and I think you're going to see throughout this season, if things continue to go well, a number of different Pokemon kind of showing their battling abilities as we go through. So here comes the Crobat again. I'm expecting a U-turn here. Really no reason for him not to go for the U-turn, but I am going to just go for the Psyshock to be safe. I could potentially Moonblast, but I will go for the Psyshock in case he decides to just go for damage. He does go for damage, so he is going to Brave Bird us here. Because I don't have my lefties, that is a bit of a bummer, because I won't be able to heal up, but he is going to take that. We are going to hit him with a Psyshock here, and Cresselia is going to pick up its 4th kill already. So Cresselia is going to kill Crobat with Psyshock, and it is making easy, quick work here of this team. And it's going to come down to whether or not this Kyurem can one-shot us, because if not, I can definitely knock him out with a Moonblast. Here comes this Kyurem, and I don't know whether this thing can beat me in one hit. I'm sitting at over half here, and I think if he brings out this Kyurem, I am just curious here. Kyurem, regular Kyurem, let's say he's like a Choice Scarf offensive, he's probably not Life Orb. I should be able to take any hit. I'm actually going to go for that Moonlight here. I'm really curious to see what he's going to do here. He is going to go for the Draco Meteor. He needs a crit here to knock us out. This is going to come in here. We are +3 special defense, so we should be able to take this no problem. We do. You can see he's going to get the special attack drop, and Miss Cresselia here is going to get this Moonlight and heal itself all the way back up and to put itself in a great spot. And now I get to click Moonblast, and I think 1 or 2, maybe 3 Moonblasts could seal this game for us and give us a nice little 6-0 here, which is what I'm playing for. I am not trying to be rude by any means to my opponent, but the differential does matter in this league, and my game plan this time was to bring my Cresselia, set up with it, and hopefully pull out the W. So here comes the Lapras again. Moonblast will come through. I would imagine 2 Moonblasts should be... Oh, that barely does anything. This thing actually is pretty tanky. I don't know if I want to keep setting up. I don't really think it's worth my time to set up. I think I could just go for a Psyshock here. I am fast in this thing, and I think this will do a tremendous amount with the stab boost and stuff like that. So this may not knock him out. I guess I underestimated the bulk of Lapras. That did a good amount. Here comes the Surf here. I think what I'll do now is I'll probably, I don't even need to Moonlight. I could just Psyshock here. There's really no reason not to. I know I could live any hit from that Kyurem at this point. So we are going to just go for a Psyshock, and that should... I actually could just go for the Moonblast in case he switches, but I guess it doesn't matter. We'll go for the Psyshock. We should outspeed as well and have no issues here. He is going to switch. Should have went for the Moonblast. That's my fault. I almost went for it, and I didn't. I should have, but here comes the Kyurem. I don't really think Kyurem is going to take this very well. And again, it's going to come down to whether or not he can crit me with a Draco, which I'm hoping he doesn't, because I would love to take this 6-0 sweep with Cresselia. Oh my goodness, I get a crit there. Obviously, these crits are pretty much not really gonna matter. Here comes the Ice Beam. I know 1,000,000% over I can take that. He would need a freeze here to really mess things up, but Cresselia is gonna drop a Moonblast, and Cresselia is feeling beautiful today, so kills Kyurem with Moonblast, and Cresselia, I'm just gonna type it out now, you can call me a jerk, but Cresselia is gonna kill Lapras too. Kills Lapras with, we'll go with Psyshock, just to make it look pretty. 3 Psyshocks, 3 Moonblasts, why not? Let's go for Psyshock here, and that should call it a game. We're gonna be faster than him, and I think we're in good shape. So, you know, good props to my opponent Blue here, guys. You know, the NPA is made up of a lot of different streamers and YouTubers and stuff like that, and some people, you know, are really into battling. Some people are just getting into battling, so try to understand that. Either way, though, Cresselia is a monster. A lot of leagues have debated banning it, so there's no shame on Blue's end to be swept by a Cresselia. This thing is insane. I saw the opening on his team. I knew if I can get a Calm Mind up early, I could sweep the team with the Cresselia, and that's exactly what happened. So game plan was executed perfectly. Cresselia is actually going to move to the front of the team in terms of kills in one match right there, and that is why MoonDuck is absolutely powerful. So thank you to my friend sniping me for Chansey early in the draft, so I grabbed Cresselia instead, and that is going to be the end of our week 3 matchup, guys. Make sure you guys show your love on that like button down below. Don't forget the question of the day, and I will be back next week, of course. Don't forget the Metapods shirts if you haven't grabbed one yet, but I'll see you guys on the next match. We play, I think, the New York Clinks next week, and it should be a really good match. So I will catch you guys later. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and that's gonna be it for me. Peace.